Hey friends, this is the Mrs. Wolfie from our half-acre homestead, home from our Canada Day jaunt, Canada Day weekend jaunt in the Motorcoach. Yes, I'm dripping. Yes, I'm red. And this is the size of the sweet tea I'm drinking. This was supposed to be the hottest Canada Day weekend in recorded history that they're aware of. I beg to differ. Well, maybe in this area, but in 1993, Howie and I got married on the eve of Canada Day. We got married on July 31st, 1993. And on my wedding day, we had a storm the night before. All the grass was yellow and it was so hot. And we had a storm the night before my wedding, and it rained and rained and rained. And still on my wedding day, it was 35 degrees Celsius in the shade. And that, for my American friends, works out to probably 90, 95 degrees. Now, we're Canadians, folks. We ain't used to this. But we were in, I got lots of footage. We had a crazy time. It took us, we found out that traveling by motor coach takes longer than traveling by truck or car. Why? Because you gotta go slower. You're driving a Kleenex box. You know what I mean? It hits wind, it hits everything. But these little jaunts that we're doing, we left yesterday morning and we're back today, right? But these little jaunts we're doing, we are feeling our way through the RV experience. We're new at it. We don't want to do any really big trips. So we've done a couple of small ones so far. And it was a blast. It was a blast. We motored up into nephew Mikey's driveway. And he just flagged us in. He gave us pretty much his entire driveway. There were trailers all around his house. His dad and his trailer and uncles and whoever. There was about 30 people. And we had a great time. As we pulled up, then he was like flagging us in. Come on, there's your spot, right in the shade. And it was great. I mean, I got eaten alive by mosquitoes. The reason my face is red, there is a triple reason my face is red. Okay? I sweat through, I don't know how many. Okay, excuse me. Aunt Josie used to say, horses sweat, men perspire, and ladies glisten. Well, I glistened my way through 2 sets of clothes in about 3 hours. And I'm glad I fit in the shower, in the coach, because I had to have one. I got video. Howie's niece, Andrea, our niece Andrea and I, we went to the fireworks trailer, bought a couple of $100 because they already had a whole bunch of pre-made fireworks, but I wanted to have some fun, so we built fireworks. Yes, it's a video. No, do not do this at home. Disclaimer. And but we had a blast. Good food, good people, cold tea on ice, shade. It was just a blast. And then the guys lit the fireworks. Mine were a little hokey because I'm out of practice and they had nothing on the big ones that they had bought, but it was still fun. And it was a riot because you could see them light the sparkler. I had these things duct taped together with a sparkler as a wick. I said, just light the spark, stick it in the sand, light the sparkler and run. And they did. Unfortunately, where I was sitting, my fireworks were hidden behind a tree, but the fireworks they had were spectacular. And I didn't use my camcorder. I used my phone, and I got some awesome firework footage. For a backyard Canada Day party, it was awesome. The fireworks were amazing. The food was good. The company was everything you could wish for. But 10:30. Holy crap, it's 2 hours past my bedtime. So into the coach we go, and we actually used quite a bit of gas because we were boondocking it, right, in the driveway. And they didn't have a plug like we have, right? And that air conditioner ran constant. The dogs, Gracie, there was like 10 dogs there. Okay, let me count. There was Rico and the little white one, and then the white lab, something else crossed. There was 2 of those. There was a German Shepherd. There had to be more dogs than that because it felt like a lot more. And then there was Gracie and Frankie. There's at least 7 dogs. I probably missed a few too. So they were having a blast. Now, Gracie at first, the German Shepherd was a boy, and he came up and sniffed her, and she got nasty with him. She didn't bite him or anything. She just said, hey, I'm fixed. Back off, you know. But after that, she wanted to get to know him better later when she got comfortable with all the other dogs and stuff. And he wouldn't come near her. He said no. And one time he came in between mine and his mama's chair to say hi to Gracie, but he got too close to me and she caught him. And it was like, if you had come around the front, Max, Gracie might have been more receptive to a visit, but you tried to sneak in by her mummy. Not happening. Anyway, I'm rambling. I'm uber hot. My face is really red because I sweat and I sweated and I sweated. And just as the sun was going down, the bug spray started coming out. People are going, yeah, bug spray. And me and niece Melissa are just, we get eaten alive by mosquitoes. It doesn't matter the bug spray you use, but we tried. But niece Andrea gave me a construction. The construction crews use them. They're wipes, and they're for bugs, right? So I wiped myself all over because I wasn't getting out of my shorts and I wasn't getting out of my tank top. And I made the mistake of wiping my face with it. And I had glistened so much that my pores were wide open. And when I wiped my face with this industrial strength bug spray, I was like, Andrea, give me water. And she's pouring a bottle of water and I'm splashing. I burnt my face. And then, Howie whacked me in the head with the dog cage. And so my face is actually quite sore because I'm chemically sensitive, folks. I'm chemically sensitive. And I should never put it on my face. I got eaten alive anyway. But we had a great time. But the best parts were, like, we got up at 6:30 this morning, and I didn't get to sleep until probably 2 in the morning, but I slept until 6:30. And that was amazing because I didn't have my sleeping pills with me. But I woke up at 6:30, and I nudged Howie gently, said good morning, but he can't just jump out of bed anymore. He kind of goes into freeze mode when you first wake him up. So he has to lay in bed for a little bit. And the dogs were in the crate going, right? So he got up and he put them out. And I made me a cup of tea, and he fussed with his Keurig and made him a coffee. And we went and sat outside, and everybody was asleep. Everybody. I feel like I'm getting bitten. Everybody was asleep. And Howie said, it could be 10 a.m. before they get up. And we learned that a trip that would take us 4 hours in the truck or car takes us 6 to 8 in the motor coach. Why? Because we're driving a motel on wheels. Okay? And I got a lot of things on video. I got a lot of pictures. But but you can't go anywhere in a hurry. You really can't. Because you're carrying everything with you. So, every once in a while, we'd pull over to a picnic area and give the dogs a drink and let them go to the bathroom. And then on the way home, we stopped at my friend Sheila's, and I'll show you the pictures in the video in the next day or so. Of my friend Sheila. Hi, Sheila. We went to grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, grade 12 together. We went through the last 2 years of public school and all through high school together. And we're still crazy after all these years. I put it out on Facebook because it's Canada Day today, right? And I put it out on Facebook that we were going through Apsley, and I said, hey, we're going to go through Apsley. Is anybody up for a cup of tea? And bang, Sheila. I have not seen Sheila in 24 years, okay? Because the last time I saw Sheila, she was in the hospital having her daughter. And that was 24 years ago, and Briar was a toddler. So, or it was her son. One or the other. Anyway, soon as I said, is anybody up for a cup of tea, and do you have enough room in your driveway for my coach? Bang, popped right up. Sheila says, oh yeah, I'm home. You get on over here. And I mean, Howie had to drag me out of the house because it was like 24 years had never happened. Yeah. We got, broken blood vessels in our feet and swollen and bad knees and bad backs, and we're full of gray hair. But you know what? 24 years just went like that. And it was like, Sheila, I'm getting, it's 35 degrees and I'm getting goosebumps because it was one of the nicest moments that I've had in a long time. A really wonderful, wonderful time. So we sat there and we talked, and Howie, met her husband, and we met her company, and then Howie said, I'm going to take the dogs out. I'm going to let them out, give them some water. I'm going to go keep them company. And Sheila and I yacked, and I wasn't even hearing my phone ping, I'm just like, yak, 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 yak. You know me, folks. I get a captive audience, and I don't shut up. God bless Sheila for her tolerance and patience. I did let her speak occasionally, but we were just there again. We were just there. We were like 14 again. And it was like we were catching up, and there was just not enough time. Well, I'm going to tell you something, Sheila. If you're watching this, I made a promise when I left that you and I were not going to get separated again, and I mean it. Okay, so I will see you next month. And then, we got in the coach, and Howie had turned the air conditioning on and let the generator run and turn the air conditioning on. And we got in the coach, and I, waved goodbye. And so we're heading through Apsley, or we're heading towards Apsley, and Howie's like, do you want to go up? We're going to go up Highway 28 to Bancroft. And I went, it's Canada Day. You don't know if there's going to be parades. Or I said, why don't we cut across by the old OPP station and head up 620 to 62 and cut across to the number 7. Well, we had adventures because no matter where we wanted to go, the GPS wouldn't jive. So we kept correcting her, saying, no, not left, right. We're going to turn right up here. But we got up Highway 620, and there was Shann das Beach. And it's not the same beach it was when we were teenagers. I mean, my dad had an old 75 Ford pickup, and I don't know how many of us kids would pile in the back of that truck, and he would drop us off for the day at Shann das Beach. We would there would be anywhere from 2 to 10 kids in the back of our truck. Back when you could legally ride in the back of the truck, right? And there was weeds, and there was a couple of outhouses, and that was it. There was no store. There was no, and I don't remember ever taking a bottle of water or a can of Coke. Right? I took my cigarettes, my sunscreen, and my towel. And every time I got hot from laying in the sun, I went swimming. And that was all day. And we survived without cell phones and bottled water and that because we kept the moisture in our system because we stayed cool and all that. So we pull up to Shann das Beach, and oh my goodness, it's twice the length it used to be. It's got all this beautiful beach sand. They've put these big square boulders along the driveway so people can't drive up onto the beach anymore like they used to. I think one of the last times no, because I've swam in there since Arthur was born. But I remember one night going to a party and drinking a watermelon. Don't ask. And going skinny dipping at 3 o'clock in the morning at Shann das Lake, and really grateful that the cops didn't show up because we were all naked, right? There was a whole bunch of us. It was dark. Nobody could see anything. But I said to Howie, I said, we could pull right up. And we could. We pulled the coach right up, left the air conditioning, gave the dogs a drink, and I took them for a pee. Howie took them for a little walk, and we left the air conditioning on in the coach. Put the dogs in the air conditioning. And we walked across the beach and jumped in the lake. Well, we walked in Shann das Beach, if anybody knows it. You walk out a half a mile before you get to your armpits. But it was the absolute freedom of pulling over, turning the air conditioning on for the dogs, going for a swim, coming back, topping up our jars of iced tea. And I instead of trying to get dressed, like I already was struggling out of wet clothes on the hottest day of the year. But instead of trying to get dressed, I just ripped off all my clothes, threw them in the shower stall, threw on a nightshirt and a pair of underwear and said, I'm not getting out until we get home. How about that? Howie said, good, we're good to go. And then we pulled over for gas at one point, and when he was pumping gas, I got out and made us lunch and got us more iced tea, and the dogs went for a pee. It's awesome. It is better than a motel. It's a house on wheels. And as long as you can find a place to park, you're good to go. It was a blast. It was a blast. And we decided, we went up by Bon Echo Park. We cut across a highway we haven't been on in years. And there was Mazenah Lake. And I mean, I haven't been to Bon Echo since I was 5. We're talking almost 50 years, It was just a really great weekend. And it wasn't even a weekend. It was 24 hours. We left here yesterday morning at 7 o'clock in the morning. And we got there at around 2 in the afternoon. But we took our time coming home. We left at 6:30 this morning. And we, texted everybody. We didn't want to wake anybody. So we're hitting the road. We had a great time, that kind of thing. On the way home, we left at 6:30 in the morning. And it's now 6:15, and I've only been home a half an hour, maybe 40 minutes. So anyway, we get home, and it is so hot, and we have no pool. Hottest day of the year, we got no pool, but that's okay. If it gets really hot, I will just go out and sleep in the coach with Daddy tonight, because he's got tomorrow off, so he's going to sleep in the coach in the air conditioning. I'm just going to sleep in my own bed. Because I've got 3 fans on me right now. I've got one by the window that's oscillating. I got one on my sewing table. I don't know if you can see it right here. It's going back and forth. And I've got a big tower fan in my doorway. And I'm still dripping. I'm still dripping. I got my window open, everything. So, word to the wise, if you're going to buy a pool and have it installed, order it in February, March. Do not order it. Do not wait until April or May. Okay? It's just not a good idea because you're stuck on the hottest weekend of the year with no pool. But anyway, Nancy looked after all my birds. I do believe I have sold my 13 turkey poults because I have right now 15 birds out there. Yeah, 15 birds out there. Like 15 turkeys. I got 6 adults and 1 and 8 and 9. Yeah, I got 15 turkeys out there in different stages of growth. I don't need any more. So I think I've got somebody coming on Tuesday or Wednesday to buy those 13 turkey poults. And my incubator full of chicken eggs died. I think the original incubator I had them in, got too hot. And they died before, when I went to take the egg turner out, I noticed it was like 2 degrees above what it should have been. And none of them hatched. But that's okay, because guess what? I unplugged that incubator because I don't need an element going in my house right now. So, this is the Mrs. Wolfie from our half-acre homestead with a sweet tea break saying, I am going to... Oh, I got to tell you one more thing. First thing I did was I arranged all my fans and I got in the shower. And I have one of those shower heads that you can change it. You can have it wide or you can have it narrow. And I had the narrow spray jet to conserve water right now. And I dialed that water as cold as I could stand it. And I stood under it and washed my hair and let the cold water run over me. And by the time, honest to God, by the time the water went from my head to my thighs, it was warm. Warm. And I was showering in cold water. Now, this is the Mrs. Wolfie from our half-acre homestead saying, give me a day or two to get all my Canada Day footage and craziness edited, but I'm taking tomorrow off because traveling can be really tiring. But it's the only way to go, honestly. Take care. God bless. Happy Canada Day to all my Canadian friends, and happy upcoming 4th of July to all my American friends. God bless North America. Take care.